My experience with real estate it's very, very limited, but I have a residential property up in New York that I'm currently renting out. I have quite a bit of equity in that home. But for right now, I am renting my residence. My landlord approached me and said, "Hey, I want to sell you the property, but I also want to sell you my house and my property, which is also adjoining to my residence currently." This would afford me to be able to bring my business to my residence, essentially. It's spread out over 20 acres, but it's a great opportunity. So I want to explore the different processes or the different options available for entrepreneurs that are looking at purchasing property. And sorry, my headphones were talking to me, but that are looking to purchase property and potentially bring in their business and take advantage of some of the different tax strategies and things like that, that bringing your headquarters of your business to your residence and what that might look like. What are the different options and how could it shake out? Looking at pros and cons of each. So right now we're considering two different properties, my current residence, and which is a residential property, and then the adjoining commercial property, which could be used as my business or for my business location. This setup is strategically beneficial for so many different reasons, but it allows us to have a lot more control. It's way better suited for all of the employees. It's more local, and it's closer than where we are now. It would give us some space. It would give us opportunity to have a warehouse and a shop that would actually fit what we're looking for in our business. The pros are endless for something like this, but you get into financing options and it gets a little complicated. By a little, I mean a lot. It gets very complicated, especially when you're talking a residential piece of property and a commercial piece of property. And there's a lot of things that you need to consider before making a move. It needs to be extremely strategic and calculated so that you don't end up burning yourself. So some of the options that we're looking at here. Now, as a veteran, I have the unique opportunity to utilize a VA loan for the residents. That's something that is very beneficial and it's financially sound. It allows me to put 0% down, which would definitely help for the cash side of this whole transaction. The other one is I could just go through a traditional mortgage company and have the residence side of this transaction be covered by a regular, typical, traditional mortgage. But then you get into the commercial side, and that's where it gets a little tricky. So commercial, typical, traditional is 20% down. Commercial with the 504 with the small business program that they have, that's less down, but it takes a lot longer to acquire. So if speed is of the essence, you need to take that into consideration. I need to take that into consideration. If I was to only go traditional or commercial for both pieces of property, I would essentially have to create a holding company. So it requires holding company, because by purchasing both residential and commercial property at once, which wouldn't work in this scenario because there's two deeds. There's one deed for the residential side, one deed for the commercial side. So it wouldn't even really work in this situation, but I would need a holding company to basically combine those, split it so that, and that won't work. The other is dipping into some equity that I have in a house that's up in New York, the house that I own and I'm currently renting. I do have quite a bit of equity there. I could pull out of that, use as a HELOC to use as cash down for this transaction to happen if I wanted to purchase both pieces of property. Again, that's piercing the corporate veil and not something I really want to do by combining both assets under me personally, especially being in construction. That's not what I want to do. I would end up having to lease back the commercial property to the company. So not something I really want to do. Plus I would have a huge dip into my debt to income ratio if I ever wanted to purchase something else. So I think what I'm going to go with is combining the VA mortgage for my residence, like my residential property, combining that with a commercial, probably going to go 504 if time allows, just because it allows me to put way less money down, 10% versus 20%. So if I go VA plus commercial, that will keep both assets separate, which decreases my liability. If my construction company gets sued, at least I know my house is relatively secure. But, again, it's a complicated thing. So I think what I'm trying to get at here is when you're purchasing real estate, it can get complicated quick, especially if you're combining a residential and commercial opportunity together. And it's not just a singular transaction. Like when you go purchase your house, it's not a very difficult transaction. It's pretty streamlined. But when you start introducing other aspects like commercial lending, I mean, it starts to get a little complicated quickly. So that's where I'm at. I think this is the route I'm gonna go. VA plus commercial, probably SBA 504 program, but we will see. There's a lot of legwork to be done right now. So I just want to walk you through that. And as this progresses, I will continue to keep you updated. And hopefully somebody can learn something from this process that I'm currently going through in real time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this stuff, if you like business, entrepreneurship, some of the different challenges that we go through on a daily basis, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I'm a new channel trying to get off the ground. I mean, it's not easy with YouTube or any other platform, really. Yeah. So I appreciate it.